Hey people, this is the Mercenary, and I thought I might talk about another Gundam kit I just finished building. This is the P-Bandai Master Grade GM Dominance Phil Hughes version from one of the side mangas of the Universal Century timeline of the original Gundam series from the 1-year war period. This is a P-Bandai kit. It can be somewhat very expensive, but if you can get it at a reasonable cost, go get it. Otherwise, I would highly suggest that you skip it. As for how I got this kit, I got this during BuildCon with the GM Sniper 2 Leto Wolves version, which is also P-Bandai. Now, before I get into the kit itself, I want to show you how many spare parts you get after you've done building and fitting out this kit. Let's see, 1 bag, 2 bag, 3 bag. Oh, and there's some other interesting tidbits about this kit. You get a spare GM head, and some of the pieces to build a GM Sniper 2, but not enough pieces to build the entire body, as this kit is technically sharing some pieces. Taking some pieces from other runners and other GM kits just to make that particular kit. Also, amongst our spare parts is red GM Dominance parts. These are the ones I did not cut off the runners yet. As you can see, I didn't bother using this smooth red piece for the cockpit. Thought the gray one looked better to stay in theme with the color scheme. There's some skirt pieces. Here are some shield pieces from the original Gundam shield and GM shields that I have not cut off the runners. And also you get an entire K-plate from the GM Sniper Custom. As you can see, they wanted you to use only part 3 of the entire runner, and then have you keep the entire runner intact. So, if you want to customize a GM 2.0 with these spare parts, you're free to do so. If you've been gathering up a huge pile of GM 2.0 parts and other types of GM parts, like Charlie 426 has for whatever amount of time he has been building Gundam kits. Excuse me. Now, if you go through the manual, you can take a look that there's a lot of Xing out. Of what pieces you should and should not be using. If you followed it to the letter, your Phil Hughes GM Dominance should be mostly white with a navy blue trim. But as for me, I chose to mix and match the pieces rather than follow it to the letter, since they gave me two sets of the same runner in different colors. You could click the pause button so you get a general idea of what I'm talking about for the number of pieces they X'd out. This kit also comes with a sheet of water slide decals. I put my sheet of water slide decals in storage with the pink beam sabers. that you technically get with most other kits, time-stamped 2006. Also, this manual is not using two different types of manuals. As you can see, this is the Hughs GM Dominance manual. Usually you get the normal manual and then you get a silly little add-on P-Bandai add-on instruction sheet tell you what to do next. But since there's so many different changes here and there, they just decided to give you a new manual that goes with this kit. Anyway, as for what else that comes with this kit is that they give you a menagerie of fingers. This is the number of kits with these fingers I have built so far. These are the age type hands, to be exact. I built quite a bit. It's gathered up in this dice container to give you an idea. This also comes with the Sentry Drone tripods. I'm not going to deploy them on camera, but they are included with the kit. And the pieces for that double barrel beam aim rifle. Which I'm not going to attach to my kit because it looks too goofy to me. And also you would have to take off one of the beam tonfas, or whatever you call it. But I'm just going to call it beam tonfas. Now, you might be wondering, now that I'm going to get to the kit, as I was saying, you might be wondering why my GM Dominance is able to do what it does with that GM Sniper 2 rifle. Now, before I get to that, this kit does not come with a GM Sniper 2 rifle. It's just there to give you an idea that I did some modification to my kit. Now, if I follow the instructions to the letter for constructing GM Dominance, regardless of which version, it says on page 6 that if you follow these instructions to the letter, you will no longer be able to tilt the neck and do sniping poses and aim the rifle down sights with this particular kit. As you can see with these instructions, they're telling you to build a collar piece around the part where the neck articulation was present in the GM Sniper Custom. As you can see right here in the instruction, they're telling you to build the GM Sniper Custom body with the Lima parts in conjunction with the other parts from other GMs. I did build that part early on, but then when I realized that I couldn't get that neck articulation, I decided to do some modification with my kit. So, what I did was I had to sand and shave the plastic around the neck area. I don't know if you can see from what I'm seeing, but I hope the light reflects the part where I had to shave and sand. See that square area? Yeah, that's where I had to shave and sand just to restore articulation. I also had to destroy Bravo 1 Part 1, and so I can further restore that articulation. Part of it's still on the kit, but the other parts are in the scrap pile. I'm going to show you what I mean. Now if I tilt my kit like this, as you can see right there, that's the only part of Bravo 1 Part 1 that I still have on my kit. I had to use a little bit of modeling glue just to keep that in place. So when you're looking at the kit from afar, it looks a little bit more presentable than an articulation piece being present when you look at it from a few feet away. But as that collar piece has been modified, my version of GM Dominance has insane articulation around the neck. It can now go aim down sights like that. As you can see there, I know it's going to look funny to some people out there, but if you recall, well, they did something similar with the Dynamis, Master Grade Dynamis that was released earlier this year, where the torso separates, so you can shoot things, so the Dynamis can do things in a prone position. With the armor piece out of the way, I'm very impressed by how much neck articulation my kit has now. So my kit can do this, and this, and then aim down sights. Well, as for other things I did with this kit, as I said earlier, I chose to use the dark blue parts rather than use the white parts for where white is supposed to be located. To make my kit stand out from others. Now, if I had followed everything to the letter, my kit should have looked something like this. If you can see right there. Now, as I chose to mix and match, my kit is really going to stand out compared to others who have previously built it. And this message is for, part of this message in regarding to the neck articulation is for you, ZakuAurelius, who complained about the neck articulation no longer being present. Well, if you put in the effort to sand, shave, and do the modifications to restore that articulation, it can be done. Otherwise, it's just going to be another neck joint like every other kit that has come and went. I may keep my GM dominance in this sniping position for a little bit, but I'm not going to keep it like this forever. Thinking about doing some other stuff with my version of GM dominance. Also, this video is also for Krowsama, who had some great things to say about the GM Dominance kit when he saw it in my shopping bag during BuildCon. So if Krowsama is watching this video right now, I want to tell you and let you know that I finished building my GM Dominance from what I got at the BuildCon. Anyway, the question now comes down to, do you really want to purchase this kit? If you're a big GM fan, a big GM collector, or you need a whole bunch of extra parts in addition to the GM Dominance itself, this is technically worth every penny of your time and every penny of your effort to have one of the most bad-ass looking gems on your shelf. But if you're not much of a fan of GMs, I'd skip this kit because of the sheer amount of leftover parts from the other GMs. For which you're going to have to bag up and even cut off the runners to fit in your parts bin for when you're done. But if you have the resources, the access, and you can get it at a good price, I would definitely encourage you to pick up this kit and go check it out. But with a small word of warning that you're going to end up with a lot of spare GM parts from the various GMs. We have parts from GM Sniper 2, GM Sniper Custom, GM 2.0, and even some from RX-78 2.0. RX-78-2 2.0. And you'll also need to do some extra work if you want to restore neck articulation to this particular kit. The neck articulation to snipe and aim down sights is still there, but is blocked off by Bravo 1 Part 1, which you may have to destroy. In my case, I had to destroy Bravo 1 Part 1, but you may not have to destroy Bravo 1 Part 1. If I ever decide to build another GM Dominance, I'm probably going to stick that spare Bravo 1 Part 1 back in the bag rather than just simply destroy it. And then I'm just going to go get a simple collar piece and replace that part. Anyway, now that I have shown you everything that this comes with the kit, what you can do with this kit, and some things you need to take assessment of before you even purchase this kit and start building it. This is the Mercenary, and I will be logging out.